So I'm not anti-electric cars. I just don't like the government subsidies. I think if you want one, you should go buy one. Hello, I'm Lauren Fix and welcome to Car Coach Reports. Today we have a very special review in a very special country. We are in Abu Dhabi in the UAE. Why are we here? What are we driving? The 2019 Audi e-tron. And we're here because the Middle East really wants to be the next part of the next performance and energy, which is electric from the sun and wind power. But they're looking at other alternatives, and one of those, as we know, is electric vehicles. And this is Audi's first step into an all-electric vehicle. This is the Audi e-tron. Now, you've heard a lot about it. Now we're going to get a chance to look at the global car, and I'll give you some tips and pointers on what the US version is going to look like, which you'll see later in 2019. In the middle of the desert, in the dunes, we drove on the roads, we drove off-road to really show its performance and technology. Hey, it's an Audi. We already know about Quattro. The only thing that's different about this car, other than a few highlights, which we'll have an expert show us, is the fact that the driveline is completely different. Let's take it for a ride. And one of the things I noticed right away is it's got really good pickup and, as expected, German handling. It's got pretty good instant power. Now, if you drive it in dynamic mode, you're going to burn through the battery quicker than you would in automatic or efficiency. But if you're going to have some fun on some of these roads, put it in dynamic mode. The first thing you notice when you get in the vehicle is the seats are really comfortable. They have lumbar support, yes, thank you. And if you go all the way up to the premium level, which is the Prestige Plus, you can get massaging seats, air-cooled seats, heated seats, yes, everything that you would want in a vehicle. So really, Audi's not giving you anything, taking anything away from you. What they're doing is they're giving you everything you're used to, plus they're offering you a different drive line. So instead of it being gasoline powered, this is electric powered. We'll prove to you it's really great on the road as well as off-road. Not that you're going to take this off-road, but if you decide to go camping or you're going out to a site somewhere to do something and it's a dirt road, you won't be worried. The visibility is really good. Now, because it's an SUV type of style, you're going to have a smaller back window, but the side windows are great. And in Europe, they're going to have cameras in the doors and little mounts out here on the side. So instead of it being a side view mirror, they're actually going to be a camera, and you'll see the video of it in the door. We're not going to get that in the US, but it is really cool. I prefer an actual mirror personally. As far as in front of you, steering wheel is great and nothing different from what you'd expect from Audi, including the virtual cockpit, the center stack, the multimedia interface is exactly what you'd see in the A6 or A7 or A8. Easy to use, very intuitive, and if you're an Audi owner currently, you won't find any difference from that perspective. There are some different drive modes that you can choose, from off-road to all-road. There's an efficiency mode, and there's even a dynamic mode, but that changes your handling and your steering input. It does not change your performance until you put it into sport mode. So as we go down, my favorite thing in this car, and it seems so weird, is the shifter. It is, instead of the shifter moving, there's a lever inside that moves back. So back for drive, hit it again for sport. There's neutral and there's sport. To put it in park, this little button on the side. It's very cool, very high tech. Everything is real easy to use. And if you've seen our A6 or A7 or A8 review, you'll see that we've described all this interface and how simple it is to use. So we're now heading down the only mountain that is in Abu Dhabi. It's about 1,300 kilometers tall. And this is a great opportunity to regen the batteries. Now there's different steps. You put it into efficiency mode, we put it into manual, and then you just hit the down arrow and you can see that it slows the vehicle down, but what it's doing is actually recharging the batteries. That's all underneath the vehicle itself, which helps keep the center of gravity low, which gives it car-like handling, but you still get that efficiency of an SUV. So if you want to go a little faster, just hit the plus button on your paddle shifters, and then changes the regen mode, so it's maybe not as efficient. And there's one more step, so if you still want to have the ability to recharge the battery, which makes no sense to have it on that mode, I would go all the way down to the lowest mode and use it as an opportunity to recharge the battery. Hey, it's all about distance in a vehicle like this. Most important things about an SUV is room in the back seat. The e-tron has room for 3 people in the back seat. So let's take a look here. All right, first thing I notice is tons of legroom and headroom. I'm 5'8", so there's tons of room here for someone who's much taller, and room for 3 adults, which is really important. Also, over some of its competition, the rear seats fold down, the center folds down in case you're getting skis, and you really want to use this thing for what it's meant for, to use it every day. Tell us what really makes this e-tron just so different.
Well, the e-tron is Audi's first electric midsize SUV. So this is everything you'd ever want out of an electric vehicle. It's got the all-wheel drive that you'd expect from an Audi.
Quattro.
It checks each wheel 10,000 times a second and readjusts the torque 1,000 times a second. It's got the range you'd expect for 95% of your driving, and then when you go on trips, it's got the fastest charging in the industry.
How fast is that?
150 kilowatts, so you can basically get 80% of your range in 30 minutes. It's the fastest in the industry.
Wow, that is fast.
I mean, basically the idea is you bring all the benefits you'd expect from an Audi. You've got the benchmark driver assistance system, adaptive
cool
cruise
LED
assist.
lights.
We've got our matrix design LED headlights that are standard on the car, adaptive cruise assist, keeps you lane centered and follows the car in front. We've got an all new MMI system in. It works just like your smartphone.
And the virtual cockpit is the best in the business.
With Google Earth satellite in the instrument cluster, you can have Waze up on your center screen. So it's really set up to be a great SUV, and also it's accessible to luxury buyers. I mean, it starts at $74,800, and that's before the $7,500 credit. So it's really a well-equipped car right in the heart of the luxury market.
Overall, I'm really impressed with the e-tron. You really can't tell the difference other than you plug it in instead of filling it up with fuel. They've done a really great job showcasing their technology and putting it all together as a really great package. They should have some really good success, whether you get the incentive or not. Certainly something you need to test drive. If you like what we're doing and you want to check out our other videos, just click right up there and you'll see the current load. If you want to see what YouTube suggests, just check right there. And if you want to subscribe, just click right there. We appreciate your support, and we'll see you next time. I'm going back to the US.